Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about follow-up questions and a really neat strategy for answering questions on SAT reading using follow-up questions. And follow-up questions are questions like number 45 right here. They're always worded in exactly the same way. They always say which choice provides the best evidence for the answer to the previous question. And then the answer choices are always just a list of line numbers. So there are a couple of reasons to study follow-up questions, a couple of reasons why they're super useful and important to get good at. The first is that there's usually about 2 of them per reading passage, and that means that there's 10 total on the SAT reading section, which is about 1/5 of all questions on SAT reading. So they make up a pretty good chunk of your SAT reading score. The other reason that it's important to study follow-up questions is that basically you could use them to answer the question before. They're asking you which choice provides the best evidence to the answer for the answer to the previous question, and then they give you a list of evidence. So what they're doing is they're giving you the information that you need to answer the previous question. You just have to select the correct piece of evidence. So here's a strategy that you should follow to get every single follow-up question right. Number one, you're going to read the initial question. You're going to read the first question. In this case, it's number 44. Number two, we're going to pick out the main point of the initial question. So in this case, we're looking for some reason that the scientific community initially rejected Higgs' idea. And now we're going to totally skip the answers for number 44. We're not going to do that now. We're going to jump right to the follow-up question. All we have to do is pick the evidence that best matches this main idea from question 44. And typically, the correct evidence is actually like the only quote from the passage that even mentions the main idea of the previous question. And so usually you can eliminate answer choices pretty quickly. So let's take a look. The first one is lines 30 to 32. And we're looking for, again, the reason the scientific community initially rejected Higgs' idea. So here's lines 30 to 32. Instead, keep the equations pristine and symmetric, but consider them operating within a peculiar environment. And there's nothing here about the opinions of other scientists or why they might have rejected Higgs's theory. So we can eliminate that first answer choice. A in number 45 is incorrect. So let's take a look at lines 46 to 48 and see if they mention the reason the scientific community rejected Higgs' ideas. So here's this quote. In 1964, Higgs submitted a paper to a prominent physics journal in which he formulated the idea mathematically. So this again does not say anything about a reason that the scientific community might have rejected his theory. So we can eliminate answer choice B. So now let's take a look at answer choice C, lines 48 to 53. Not because it contained a technical error, but because the premise of an invisible something permeating space and interacting with particles to provide their mass, well, it all just seemed like heaps of overwrought speculation. So this is telling us about why the paper was rejected. The paper was rejected not because it contained a technical error, but because this premise seems like, speculation. It seems like overwrought speculation. So that does give us an idea. It does answer the question of why the paper was rejected, why the theory was rejected initially. So we can't eliminate answer choice C. Let's take a look at answer choice D just to be careful, lines 67 to 70. So the physics community had, for the most part, fully bought into the idea that there was a Higgs field permeating space. And this is actually the opposite of rejecting something. It's saying the physics community had fully bought into the idea. So we can eliminate answer choice D. And the answer to number 45 is C. It seems like it's overwrought speculation. So now let's take a look at number 44. The author most strongly suggests that the reason the scientific community initially rejected Higgs' idea was that, well, we know that the quote says something about overwrought speculation. So it's not because of a technical error, but because of the premise itself, the idea of something permeating space, interacting with particles and providing their mass, seems like, again, overwrought speculation, especially this word here, speculation. So speculation, something that doesn't have evidence, sort of like a very fancy guess. So let's take a look at these answer choices. A, addressed a problem unnoticed by other physicists. So they didn't reject Higgs' idea because it's addressing a problem. They're rejecting it because they think it's speculation. That's what the quote on lines 48 to 53 tell us. So we can eliminate A. Only worked if the equations were flawless. There was nothing really about the equations in that explanation, so we can eliminate B. Rendered accepted theories in physics obsolete. And again, making theories obsolete was just not mentioned in those lines. So we can eliminate C, and D is our only choice left, and so that's going to be the right answer. Appeared to have little empirical basis. So empirical means something that you can observe, based in observation. So if something has little empirical basis, it's just speculation, it's just a guess, right? Because you can't observe it. And so D is our answer. And that's all for this question. Thank you for watching, guys. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.